All right, start over again. Okay, so I thought I was recording. Backtracking. So, guys, I've already taken apart the LCS, and I'm going to show you how to install the rail system that we've got here at Alamo Airguns. So, um, this was take two because I thought I was recording, but okay. So, I already taken it apart, but the reassembly is going to be the same thing as disassembly. So, watching it from here, you always want to watch your videos first before you disassemble anything on your gun, and then then go into practice and actually taking apart your gun. So watch this video first. But yeah, so I've already taken off the top rail system, as you can see here. The barrel's out, and I've got the piece out. So what I was saying though, before I thought I was recording, is that when I printed this, it fit real snug on my gun. So I had already installed it, and it still kind of wobbled a little bit on this one. And as we know, every gun just, when they assemble, they actually kind of all fit a little differently. So even the original piece, we all know that wiggles a lot, so it's got a lot of play in it. My print has a little bit, a whole lot less play, but in this gun, it still had play. My gun, it's pretty snug, so it doesn't move. So every gun's going to vary. But installing this, so what I've done to backtrack to get the fitment to be a little bit more snug is I put a little bit of a spacer on the bottom part of the barrel here. Okay, so, okay, and what that is it's a sticky tape, just this stuff. So I've got a whole bunch of this stuff just lying around, so I figured, oh, this is great because it's got some give and it'll be exactly what I need. I don't need it, again, this isn't holding a scope or anything, so it's doesn't need to be that precise, and a laser, it's a laser. So anyways, I took a very small strip. I left the backside on so that it can slide. It's still kind of caught, but it's not a big deal. It's actually better, that it can catch a little bit. But anyway, so yeah, I've got that as a spacer. And so real quick, that when you do disassemble and take off your rail system, there's a bottom screw, this guy right here. You want to loosen that guy up so that you can get some play on this. That way you can get a little movement out of it. And that might be most important for some of you. I know on my gun it was very important. So you can get that play. And then once you got that, you can easily pull this back a little bit, slide the rail system in, and then get it to kind of balance there. And you'll see right now it's got some play still. Very little play, but the barrel's actually going to very snugly fit inside there, which is also really nice. So then, once you got that piece in there, you just get the barrel in. I push down on the front so I can get, because that spacer's pushing it up a little bit. When I printed this, it lines up perfectly, but now that we've got that spacer in there, it's obviously pushing on the barrel. So okay, there we go. Okay, so there's a nice test fit, and this thing has no play whatsoever. So this is snug as a bug. That is fitting nice. Okay, so even without everything clamped in already, this is tight, and I like that. We like tight, right? Okay, so you can do whatever you want with that. Okay, so now obviously getting the barrel in, you want to screw it back in. Screw it back in. Go all the way till it stops. Once it stops, unlock your magazine back here, and you'll see that you can't move it now, because what's happened is the barrel's actually pushing on the magazine, so it clamped in on the magazine and it won't rotate, so it won't cycle. So you want to back the barrel out a little bit, and now we can rotate it. This is actually kind of tricky because you want to try and get that, as tight of a clearance as possible. But what I've noticed is that even when you get that tight clearance, you kind of rock this just a little bit, and then you get a little bit loose, and then this is floating great. The problem is when you go to tighten this first screw, somehow the clamping mechanism pushes back on the barrel, and then it locks the magazine again. So you got to kind of do some balancing here. First thing I want to do is take my I think this is a number 3 Allen key. On the bottom side here, and tighten this bottom screw. Okay, you want to tighten this guy first. Okay, and you want to kind of slide it forward so that you can kind of get as much of a snug fit again on the rail system. Okay. So hard to see. Okay. There we go. Okay. There's that. And then this guy, you're just going to slide this back on. It's like a dovetail. So it's like a dovetail adapter, actually. So just slide that back in. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, now that we got this back on, the next one you want to tighten is this guy, the bottom one. That guy, okay? But you're going to check your magazine and bounce back and forth between them. So what you're going to do is, so you want to clamp down on this guy. Give it all the tightness you're going to want. You know, tighten it like you're done. Okay? Come back, check your magazine. We're rotating fine. So that's great. Now if you want, you can always go back, you know, loosen it. And right there, it's already touching. I could feel it's resisting. So yeah, that was perfect. I had it. So right there's good. I've got probably like an 1/8 of a turn on that, and that's the clearance I need. And then this still rotates fine. So yeah, you want to make sure that when you tighten on this guy, your magazine still spins. Because I've had it on my rifle that it actually somehow pushed the barrel back and it clamped down on the magazine when it floated fine, you know, when it was loose. So anyways, play with that, get it figured out, and then you can tighten the front one. At this point, there's really not an order that you need to go. It's just this one's very important because you want to make sure your magazine is still floating. I think that if I clamped this one down and then did this one, it could actually somehow squeeze the metal enough. I don't know. And then from these guys, these are rather loose. Mine were stupid tight. I don't know. It did not. Mine only slid one direction, and I couldn't. Like this one floats both ways and comes off both ways. So mine was. I don't know what's up with mine. It did not like going in either direction, but one direction it did not go at all. And then so you want to get it flush on the back here as best you can. Let's see. Let's try and get. And this one actually needs a lot of tension because it's got too much clearance. It's okay. So there we go. Got that. Got that. Nice and tight. These guys are going to go in tight. Careful not to strip. Okay. There we go. So your rail system's in. Barrel's on. Your magazine's rotating. That's the important part. Make sure all your two screws are tight. This one and these are most important. And then, of course, your rail system for your scope. And then just put your shroud back on. And you're good to go. Okay, I've noticed for me, the shroud is actually, we've got kind of a separation deal here. So I could slide the top row back a little bit more. But yeah, this gray one looks pretty good. I like the way the contrast actually sets. I've got black on mine. This is a 30 cal that we have here in the shop. I think I'm going to keep it on there and sell it with it. So it might not even, yeah, it might actually just go with the gun. So bye from Alamo Airguns. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the video. Just play with it, get it right. Like I said, mine originally, I installed it and I noticed that with the barrel and everything, I was ready to put it back together with the top rail, and I was like, this still has play. If a customer buys the gun, they're going to be like, it still moves. So anyway, so Get some, either some of this clear tape, something, just some sort of spacer, and it'll help push the rail system up, and the barrel will help push it down, so it'll clamp down on itself and stay nice and snug. So aside from that, it's a real simple install. Enjoy your rail system, and if you want the cheek rest, hit me up. We can get you set up with that too. All right, guys, we'll see you around.